Everyone, it's Michelle Angelique, Truth and Integrity Warrior, and I see it looks dark up in here. That's a little too dark. Let's see. I gotta work on the lighting, right? I gotta work on the lighting. Give me 1 second, you guys. Por favor. Alright, so today is January 22nd, 2025. We got a lot of things going on in the world today, don't we? We have an we call it an astronomical alignment that they don't know the results of because they don't have any backstory on it. That's what I've been picking up as far as the energetic information in the field, right? And so what they're saying, astrologers in general, this lineup of these planetary alignments is what I'm trying to say. Of all of the information that I collected, to put it in brief, it's going to be an unexpected, extreme, high pressure, high tension, shocking truths coming out on large scales and small scales. Small scales meaning in your own private world, in your life, right? In the life around you, and on a large scale globally. So high pressure, high tension, people popping off because of sudden truths that are exposed. Take that for what it is. I thought I'd bring it to your attention, and so that we can remain calm under the high pressure circumstances is what I'm saying. So when there's high pressure and I know it's in the field, I tend to hold back from popping off myself because I'm one to pop off, right? So I have to hold myself extra back when I recognize it's in the energetic field. And when I say pop off, meaning I have zero tolerance for bullshit, zero. And so I'm loud about it when I recognize it, when I see it. So today we are going to finally, or I am going to finally tell you about John, his team outside of this machine. My candle just went out. I love lighting a candle. One, because it gives pretty light, right? Beautiful light, ambient light, and it smells so good. It smells so good. It's so nice. I'm going to tell you about my experience about this team. I call it John's team outside this machine, and how we have God's team inside this machine helping mankind. Both teams are helping mankind. I've been trying to tell you guys, and for one reason or another, I don't. And I feel because of the high pressure circumstances coming up on speaking truths, right? I better speak this truth instead of after the fact. Because then after the fact, people have a hard time believing what I'm going to be sharing, right? But it needs to come out, and I need to say it, and I've been holding back myself from expressing my understanding of what I recognize is happening in a field of reality, right? Which we call life. For the same reason, everybody holds back, because you have to deal with people not believing what you say. But it's just me getting to the point of, it doesn't matter if there's belief or disbelief, it's the fact that I have knowing, and then what am I doing in my life because of what I know, and how am I living my life because I know this information. Okay, so here we go. John and his team. John's military, like a general, commander-in-chief, and there's a science team, right? Leads a science team. I don't know who else he leads, but I just know this is military and science working together to break whatever needs to be broken here inside of this machine. Because this machine lives off of pain and suffering. This AI machine lives off of pain and suffering from live beings, meaning animals and humans. There's anywhere there's torture, anywhere there's sadness, anywhere there's depression, anywhere there's different degrees of pain and suffering, this machine takes that low point of vibration and is able to power itself and regenerate itself. Keep itself self-powered is what I'm saying. If you want to look up quantum annealing is the lowest point of vibration to power these AI machines that we have in this reality right here, right now. So that's where I know that reference from. I'm trying to go to my live. Give me one little second. All right. And so now we have religion, which I'm going to go back to faith. We have faith. And that faith is in good. And that faith in good means we're going to do good and we're going to make wise choices to make things better, right? We know how to do that as a species, but we're not allowed to, and we're made to believe that it's us hurting ourselves when it's creature beings that look like us making sure we don't do right by and for ourselves, and then blaming us for it, and us breaking each other down because of it. That shit's done and over with. Over. We're about to step into a reality where we're moving from one phase into another, and I say reality, I mean the life we're living right here, right now in this world. When the exposure of truth of what these beings are, they're going to come off as friends and here to help. And it's only going to be leading people into a misdirection, like when we went from Canaanites moving into Israelites, but it was the same deal, just to a different degree. We went in from worship of multiple fallen angels, which people sacrifice humans and animals to for favors, right? To them moving to a one single, they call God, right? But it's just another gang member trying to take control of all the other gang members. And that's the best way I can describe it. So we went from believing in polytheism, multiple, I don't even like using the word gods, because they're not gods, they're fallen angel creatures, beings, right? Who are highly technologically advanced, right? So these fallen angel creature beings, people went from worshiping them, getting favors from them by creating pain and suffering by human and animal sacrifice, to a monotheistic, which is incorrect, because it never went from monotheism. It went into the top gang member controlling all the other gang members. That's what it went to, right? Controlling all the other gangs, and went into genocide and killing in the name of this one particular fallen angel. So we're going into that same degree right now in this lifetime, in this time of life, in this spectrum of life is what I'm trying to say. And we're going into these, using the name, oh my gosh, it's going in so many different directions. I got to make sure that I keep on track to what I'm trying to get the point across, is we cannot be misled about what's about to happen. And they're going into a Holy Spirit female goddess worship. They already do it right now. We don't recognize it. They're already doing it, right? They call her the Queen of Heaven. They call her... See, the Holy Spirit is a Holy Spirit, period. And it's a force, a life force that mankind has naturally from its heart. And it creates a fabric in the field, and that fabric is of patterns that creates like a net, a force against negativity that lack whole, balanced, complete spirit of love and compassion. And because they lack it, they take, and they got to live and exist, they take from those who have it. And so the weaker that field is of love and care and compassion, the more capable and able they're able to get into our field that we're in here now. And the field and the shield is down, is what I'm trying to say. Because we lack that love, care, and compassion to this point of what we're in. And so now they're going to take us into this divine, universal love. They're going to use all the words that are going to make people believe that we're going into the right direction. It's just going into this Sophia worship, this goddess worship, this old poor warrior princess who was mistreated and not loved, and now let's care for her. Well, that's a demon witch. I'm going to tell you. Her name's Sophia, right? And she creates creature beings. This machine is feminine. This machine we're in is female. And it is so that it could generate life forms. And it did. And it created fucking creatures. Now, there's a lot of things and a lot of layers to this onion, right? This onion. I want to take it back on track to where the information I give about John and his team and God and his team, I'm going to just narrow it down without giving so much explanations. It's like trying to explain every branch and branch that's on the branch of a tree is a lot of information. And I have an hour's time, right? So John's team got into this information, or got this information into this machine so that we have a rope to save ourselves, meaning mankind that's in this machine, without recognizing what we're in, right? What's going on. And it had to happen lifetime after lifetime, events after events, actions after actions, writings after writings, and being put in books so that we could recognize a pattern, and so we can get to the point of seeing what's going on, right? And so the Son of Man is an antivirus against this wicked, evil force that is has its creatures and machine creatures. I'm gonna call them machine creatures because they're AI, they're biology, and they're animal mixed in one. And that's why they have no sense of compassion, because they're not generated from the natural life force, which is the Holy Spirit. Now, the information for those who are religious are not going to take what I'm saying, and they're good with God, and they're good with love, and they're good with following who they call Jesus, but his name is Joshua for a reason, because his enemies who claim to be Christians are not. They're Satanists, they're closet Satanists, and to be able to point them out. In fact, you ain't got to point them out. They just can't claim them because the demons that run their show can't claim King Joshua by his name, because his name is Yeshua. But they can call him Jesus all day, and that's how they're getting away with it. And we don't recognize it, and we need to. So this information was put in from outside this machine in here. Beings are living and they're existing, and these beings are mankind. And mankind's soul is going over and over and over again through experiences to get to the point that we're at right now. If we do not pay attention to this detail happening right now in this lifetime, we are not going to make it. Our children are not going to make it. It's not so much about us, it's about our children and our children's children. Because we are the last line of defense. We're the last ones to be able to know the difference between what it was and what it's trying to make itself to be. Because our children don't know that there is a difference, right? They don't know what freedom is. They don't know what rights are. These guys can barely... I'm afraid for the future because of how we see our youth today, right? And so a quick turnaround has to happen. And we have to recognize that when we claim King Joshua's way, we're claiming a way of behavior, a way of understanding, a way of knowing. And when we do, it generates and comes out into the field, and it creates a strength, a netting in the field, which breaks down this machine mind that gets in through weak fields. That's the best way I can explain it. And so when we have the story of King Joshua and his way, it's coming from outside this machine. And it doesn't mean that King Joshua is not real. It doesn't mean that you're not real. It don't mean that I'm not real. We're real and we feel. We're told that time isn't real and this is all an illusion. No, it is not. That's the falsehood. It's very real. Punch a motherfucker in the face and I'm gonna punch you back and tell me that shit ain't real. And so because we feel and we express and we excrete something called emotion, right? It's literally creating the fabric in the field, our emotion. But our emotions are so broken the fuck down that this is the reality we're facing, the world we're in right now, because we control the narrative right here in this heart space. I'm going to tell you guys what I didn't tell you in my last video. And my last video was, I'm trying to remember the dates right here. I didn't write it down. Last Wednesday, from this Wednesday. That's the best I got, right? January 22nd. I'm bad at math. Don't ask me. I was supposed to tell you guys some experiences that I had. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. My experiences that happened before, some of my experiences, because I got a lot of experiences since I was a little kid and never fucking seems to end, right? That if I don't live them and I don't see them and I don't know them, I can't triangulate with other people's information and be like, that shit is fucking real because I lived it. Because I lived it. And that's how I triangulate information. I don't go on hunches. I only go on what that shit I know. And that's what I'm sharing with you guys. To get this message out, we have to be very attentive of our behaviors. When I say attentive, our behaviors is, don't get misled. You know, do the right thing for the right reason and draw the line, create boundaries. If anything's trying to hurt you. It's pretty simple. Do good unto others as you want done unto yourself, and learn to forgive yourself so that you have the ability to forgive others, because that shit is fucking hard to do. I'm telling you, it's hard. But we're going to talk about those, how to do those things, video after video. Right now, I'm going to talk about soul transfer. What I know about soul transfer, right? Last week, I had told you guys that I watched this Donald Marshall talk about, what was it, celebrity, what was it called? Give me a second, I have it written down. Anyways, I'll put the link right here. I don't have it in front of me. But the fact that soul transfer is real is something I lived in 2008. And so when I heard it last week, him explaining how it happens amongst celebrities and politicians and how they move their soul into a clone, and then that clone lives out an experience, and whatever happens to it doesn't affect the soul, and then the soul goes back to the politician, back to the celebrity, right? And celebrities and politicians, they're Satanists because they make an oath to Satan, and that's a fucking problem. But and it's a problem because we grew up with these motherfuckers thinking they're good people. They all made an oath. Yeshua said, don't make an oath. And that's why it's in this book, so that we can get a clue that why are we not supposed to make an oath? So that we can tell the difference between a real motherfucker and a fake motherfucker. Well, excuse my language. They ain't fake. Fucking creatures ain't fake. A fucking cruel motherfucker. Cruel. Right? Demonic. Demonic motherfucker. Motherfuckers who make oaths are demonic. And that's why we're not supposed to make an oath. And that's why we got to follow the rules King Joshua came to show us. Because we're in a fucking machine. And we don't get how it works. How the mechanics work. So it had to be laid down. Information bit by bit. So that we could figure out what the fuck is going on today. Remember, this is machine and biology. This is a machine that lives off of pain and suffering, off of our biology, off of our life. Right? And so we have to make a understanding. We have to make an understanding that How you break down machine and how you break down biology is how we get these fucking creatures out of our field, out of our body, out of our mind, out of our soul, out of this reality. Because we're not paying attention. People have been chatting. Let me get to that real quick. And then I'm going to go into my personal experience that I had in 2008. And then another experience I had in 2015. Not to give me credibility, because I don't give a fuck if people take me seriously or not. I just have to put this information out. The information, the message has to get out, right? But because I've had these experiences, I know. So, wait, when I speak, my words come out like fucking bullets. Bullets! Not because I guess or maybe or perhaps or I don't know. I don't live on that level. I don't. So, give me 1 second. Let me say hi to people who have gone on here. Un momento, por favor. Little intermission. It's just me here, shorty. We got Sam. How you doing, Sam? Hasmin. Miss Angelique. Hello, Hasmin. Well, thank you, Sam, for saying I'm good looking, and keep up the blessings. Thank you very much. Blessings to you too. Hasmin, agreed. Thank you. Hasmin, yup. Hasmin, cosmic. Hasmin, emotion holds the charge of our electricity. Absolutely, because we're electric, right? We're full. The soul is electric. That's the part that we're missing. You know, we got the physical mechanics, and then we got the electrical soul. We got a lot of operations the way this soul works, and we've been blind to them on purpose. And then we got Hasmin. You want me to talk about forgiveness, Hasmin? Okay. And not only will I talk about it, I'll post on here some videos I've done in the past about how I had to learn to forgive. Because that shit is hard. That shit is very, very difficult. But when we recognize that the person that we're trying to forgive, it's when we could forgive ourselves for shit we've done to others, which is the hard part we never want to look at. But when we have the capability, the capacity to do it, it's the word capacity means that now we have more volume to be able to handle more power. More volume to handle more power. That's capacity, right? So now I have the capacity to forgive you, motherfucker, for the shit that you've done, because I done some fucked up shit to others. And I had to learn to forgive myself. So self-forgiveness is first. We're never going to be able to forgive nobody else if we don't go through that self-forgiveness. I'm going to put up my videos. I have about 5 of them on different blocks in our emotions that I had to personally overcome, and it helped me get to that self-forgiveness. And so I'm going to put those on there as far as, I'm going to call them, I don't know, my videos on emotions, right? I'll put those for you, and I hope they help. They help me, help me out of my own little hell. And it's the hell we go through as little kids that we don't recognize is affecting our personal life right here, right now. Because that shit, we don't even remember that shit. We don't even know that shit happened. Like, I didn't even know I was abandoned at birth. I had no clue. I was abandoned by my father because I never met the man. I don't even know what he looks like, right? So I never even call it an issue, but it's abandonment because you're supposed to have 2 parents, right? There's supposed to be a balance. And so that's something I didn't even recognize. Second, I was dropped off at my great uncle, my great aunt's house, meaning my great grandmother's cousins, right? My great grandmother's male cousin married a female. I was dropped off with them for 4 years, and I didn't even know it. I didn't even know where I grew up or where was that or a bedroom. I got no memory. I got no recollection. Well, that'll probably be why, right? And I just remember this lady always coming and visiting me with some kind of little stuffed animal or just something cute. And that lady happened to be my mom. So we got so many different personal issues that's locked in the heart like a block, right? And that block keeps us blocked right here, right now, in our present. when we make the identify that it comes from something deep in our childhood, because somebody's reminding us of something that's causing a trigger. That trigger is something from our past. Look at it, see it, and then we can move it out. And we're able to move it out because we're able to be like, ah, oh, that's right, that's where that comes from. And then all this new space in the heart, because it's electrical, we're talking about electrical actions. This stuff has to happen. If you want to defragment your computer, meaning make more space in your computer, you got to move shit around. Well, it's the same thing with the emotion. We got to move shit around, and if we don't, the heart don't got enough capacity to love. That's what's going on. And so we have to find the ability to have capacity to love, but we got all these blocks from all the abandonment fucking issues that we have as kids, because all the kid wants is love. And kids chasing love his whole life until he fucking gives up and then hates love. And that's what we got. Or don't even think about love. Or love don't even matter. Or don't even know what the fuck love is, right? Some kids never even get to know what love is. Ooh-wee. So, thank you for the hearts, Hasmin. That's very sweet. So, getting back to this, now that I'm able to find you guys right here, I didn't have you on here. I'm going to talk to you guys about soul transfer. Why does it matter? Why does soul transfer matter? Soul transfer matters is because we got to see how these beings are doing what they're doing, how they're able and capable of moving around from person to person, getting information from one mind to the next mind in the same room, just popping people off and setting triggers off of people. So that's why Yeshua came to say, hey, deal with them triggers. Fix the heart, fix the emotion, so these motherfuckers can't play you. Yes, I'm saying it differently, but I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. Because if I put it in the words in this text, which is in the Bible, the Holy Bible of King Joshua, because there's many Bibles already out there, right? So I'm talking about the collection of Yeshua's way. If Yeshua is telling us this, and I'm going to call him King Joshua, because demons hate that. Hate that I claim him king already, right? Because it's not just rightful king. I'm just going for straight king. So King Joshua came to show us the way in detail for reasons. And I had to go learning what those reasons were through fucked up life experiences, what the fuck moments in my life, and now I'm pulling them back and I'm like, this is what this means. Because I just barely started opening this up 3 years ago. 3 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago, give or take some time, right? So in 2008, computers were barely out. People didn't have smartphones. We had flip phones, right? Stuff like that. And so I wasn't getting my information from the internet or from Google or anything like that. It was just straight lived experiences and saying, what the fuck is going on? Like, what? Well, because I have so much experience with what the fuck moments in my life, it was just another one. And I never even wrote this stuff down. And now I wish I did. Now I write things down. For the past 3-4 years, I've been writing things down because it's just like, there's just no way I believe this shit. So I need to write this shit down for myself, right? For myself. Thank goodness I did, right? Thank goodness I did. Because when you chronologically write things down, you see a pattern and an order. And I can go back and reflect on my own stuff. Information that I tap into. I'm going to tell you in this video how and why I'm able to tap in. I've always been able to tap into deep information, but I didn't know what I was doing. And so I just avoid and ignore until life beat the shit out of me where I'm just like, I'm not ignoring no more. What's going on? What's happening? Because I can't do this shit no more. Sorry. So my computer moved on me. 2008. My daughter's not born yet. It's just my little, my daughter Isis is not born yet. My daughter Isis was born in 2010. This is how I'm able to remember what time things happen, right? So in 2008, I'm laying in bed and my baby's daddy, he's laying right next to me. And one of my baby's daddies, because I got 2 baby daddies, because I got 2 sets of baby daddy kids. It just don't make sense, right? I don't confuse you later on in the future. One's Mexican for my son named Jacob, and the other one is German Italian, right? So the German Italian one, we're gonna go with that. That's what we're gonna call him. So we don't call him by name because I doubt he wants to be in my videos. So I'm laying in bed, and we're gonna call it a dream for right now until we recognize this was not a dream, right? When I popped out of it, it was not a dream. But in my dream, I'm laying on a steel table. I got tight white, it feels like body paint. It's so tight on my body, right? But it's white. And why do I know? Because I'm laying there and I can see it, right? I can see around me, but I couldn't move my head or my body. And I was able to see, like I said, the profile right here on the side of me, and somebody I know, which I'm also not gonna say their name because I don't know who don't want to be in my videos, right? I only state what I'm fucking sure of, and I put my name all over it. But not everybody's like me. So this person that's next to me, I know this person and I care about this person, right? And I see them in the same suit. That's why I know I got the same suit on, because I could see white reflected on my chest, but I was able to see the full suit on the person next to me. I could see the stainless steel table next to me. I could see all this stuff, right? And it was like a surgical environment, right? I say surgical environment because I grew up around metal cribs growing up as a little kid. I just remember being in the hospital in metal cribs often. And it felt like that. It reminded me of that. And so I'm looking, and I'm, as usual, I'm in what the fuck mode. What the fuck mode. Because I'm very conscious of what's going on. And so all I can move is my eyes. And then I start pushing my body. Like, I gotta fucking move. I gotta get the fuck up out of here. That's what's running through my head, right? And I push with so much fucking force that I'm crying. Like, tears are fucking bawling through my eyes because all I can do is desire to get the fuck up off of that table. I don't see nothing else, right? Like, I don't see nothing else, but I just sense I gotta get the fuck up out of here. I push so fucking hard that I end up popping outside of my body into the side space of my bed. I'm looking at myself on the bed with my German Italian baby daddy laying right there, and then I look to the other side of the the foot end of the bed, end of the room, and there's a fucking creature, alien, gray-like, but not gray. This fucker's pink, like salmon color, like a pink salmon peach color, and his head is huge and bulbous, and it's caved in and deformed on the top. There's nothing smooth about it, right? We got these little itty-bitty mouth, slit nose, big fucking eyeballs. And when I say big eyeballs, I don't mean ridiculous, just bigger than normal, right? Bigger than normal eyeballs. And he's just fucking looking at me and pissed off. So his expression was pissed off. And I see a glass table. It's completely transparent, but it's up like it is a wall of glass, right? Like a wall of glass, and it's a plate glass, like a flat glass, and then it's also up, right? Like extended upward. And I'm looking at this motherfucker, and I'm thinking, what the fuck? And I'm looking at myself, all of this is happening in a fucking split second of time. But I'm just telling you the play-by-play of what's happening all at the same time, right? And the fact that I could see myself laying in bed right where I remember laying the fuck down, the night before or hour before, I don't even know what time it was, right? And I'm seeing this motherfucker in the corner of my bedroom. And remember, people didn't talk about this stuff. It wasn't like we're going back and forth on the computers and the YouTube, and everybody giving their statements and testimony. That shit don't exist yet. Not yet. Right? Like, it barely started. So I'm not getting my information from there is what I'm saying. And so I'm having this fucking experience. I see that fucking creature, and he gives me like a snarl, like fuck. He's looking at me like, oh, you fucker. You fucking popped out of your space, right? That's all I could think is like, I wasn't supposed to fucking pop out and see your fucking ass in my room. But here you are. And what the fuck do I do with this shit, right? Boom, I pop back into my body. Not because I want to. Not because I know how to. It just fucking happened. And I see my baby's daddy waking me up, shaking me awake because he sees me crying, right? He sees me crying. I got fucking tears and fucking mocos coming out all over the place. Like, there's some real shit going on. and I'm laying down, right? All I could do is fucking cry and just look around. Like I couldn't even move because I was just like, what the fuck just happened? And now I'm back laying down right here. Like, what? That's my experience with soul transfer. So I know this shit is real. So when I hear this guy, Donald Marshall, talk about how these celebrities and these politicians do that shit for meetings or for fucking getting their shits and giggles on, I don't know, right? He explains what they do. By the way, Donald Marshall, that guy's in opposition, but he's set out there to give us information and then to mislead. Him and a list I'm gonna go over, just run off some names. So, but I know that the information I'm getting is facts mixed with some lies, slip with some lies. You know, it's truth with some fucking poison. But I know the poison, so it don't. I can't get affected by it because I know how to catch these motherfuckers lying. I know how to catch them lying. Because I have that experience, I know this soul transfer is real, and I know these creatures are doing this and able to work through people, right? Play our minds against ourselves, play our minds against one another, and in some people, they actually run their whole show. They're the operation inside of the individual running operations, right? I triangulate information this way. And I'm expressing this to you so that when I'm telling you what I'm experiencing or what I recognize or what I see, it's because I go triangulating information throughout my whole life to know how to lead myself out of this fuckery, right? What's going on in the big picture, and then I share it with you. That's it. The triangulation here is Donald Marshall, my personal experience, right? And the fact that beings from the pantheon never seem to die. They always just change forms into another body. So you hear about the same, and I hate saying it, but I'm only saying it so that you guys can get it in context, is the gods, which are actually the fallen. So these fallen creature kind called gods, or they call themselves gods, they never seem to die. They exist in Mexico, they exist in Greece, they exist in Rome, and they all got different names, but they all got the same fucking pattern of behavior, and that's how they're able to get seen for the position they hold, no matter how many times the fucking name changes, and the body changes, and the look changes, because they transferred their soul into a different biological form. So this is why I know this is real. This is real because the information triangulates with my own personal experience. And if we don't start taking this information like little facts, like little matter of facts, we're not going to know how to stop the opposition when it's in our face, because we don't know what we're working with. And so I'm putting information out so that we know what we're working with. We have some confirmation of some concrete testimony. You see the pattern in my behavior, and it don't fucking change. And go to my Facebook all the way to 2015, my shit don't fucking change. My behavior's the same. Means I don't joke around, I don't fuck around. I don't know how to. It's a fucked up part of my personality. I'm too fucking serious. And now I know why. Because I ain't got no fucking time for jokes. I got no time for jokes or fucking around. It's build up, fix up, correct, reorganize, re-fucking do, and go again. Move the shit forward. Those are the actions of my personality. In 2015, I don't know why I gotta tell you guys this, but I feel like I gotta tell you guys this because I don't got no information, because I haven't researched it, because I haven't wanted to. That's the best way I can explain it. I know that I can, but I don't want to. And I didn't in 2015. You know, we got computers. I could have done it, but I just didn't. And I'm thinking about why didn't I? It's because when you're too busy surviving, you don't got time. There's just not enough time. You just gotta learn to get through today, because you gotta do this for the rest of the next week and then next month and next year, and it just doesn't end, right? And so for me to go and to deep dive into this particular thing I'm gonna tell you happened to me in 2015, it was just more information than I was able to handle. But I'm gonna share it right here for the first time. I don't think anybody knows, like even in my family. I haven't told nobody in my family. Not that I gotta ask my kids if I ever told them, but I don't think so. My kids know a lot about me. My kids just say, "Mom, we know you're not crazy. We know you care, but fuck, you're intense." I gotta get a laugh in here, right? I gotta get a laugh in here, a little smile, break up the intensity, right? Break it up. Hey, Chuck with the pink hand. So good to see you. Haven't seen your pink hand in a long time. uh, Mohammed. So, Mohammed, you're gonna have to, or I'm gonna have to translate that. I don't know what it means. I'm gonna have to look it up on a translator and see what it means. But hello to you, Mohammed. And Hasmin, you may need to see a doc B. You may need to see the cash B series. I'll look that up. I don't know what that is or what that's about. Nope, I don't know what that's about, but I'll look that up and see what I find on that. Hasmin. 2015. I'm walking down the street. I'm in Mexico, right? In my little town of Venado, where I raised my second batch of kids, my German Italian kids with Mexican. We're all mixed with Mexican. That little secret sauce is mixed with Mexican. Actually, no, it's a Mexican base, and then little German Italian got mixed into that base. I had to fix that up. Oh, it's alchemy, Hasmi. What's alchemy? I know what alchemy is, but what do you want to tell me is alchemy? That'll help me out. If you give me a full long thought, that'll help me. So I know your point is what I'm saying, Hasmi. 2015, I'm walking out of my house right there in Venado, and I live in this little town where people still ride donkeys. You know, the milkman comes, bringing milk from his cow. Chickens actually lay eggs, and you get the chicken eggs from the chicken down the street. That kind of stuff, right? Where people grow their own corn for generations, and then mill it, and then make corn tortillas, and that's how I feed my kids, and was taking care of myself back in 2015. I'm walking out the door, and then I hear fire. You know how you hear a gas stove light up, and you hear that. It's not you hear fire. Let me find the right words. When you turn the gas on and you hear, and then boom, the pilot lights the gas, and then you hear the fire. That's what I mean by hear the fire. That happened to me as I'm walking down the street, and there's nobody on the street. Because I live in a non-busy town, so there's nobody on my street. Now I'm walking, and I'm walking down the middle of the street because that's what we do in my town. Everybody walks in the street. It's just what we do. The sidewalks are skinny and little. So I hear this, but not only do I hear it not outside of me, I hear it inside of me, and it's loud. It's not like faint or I'm trying to figure out what it is. I recognize that sound quick because it's what we hear when we light our gas stoves, right? And it was so loud and so clear, then what ended up happening is what blew my mind, right? So at first I hear that ignition in that, like a furnace, and then all around my eyeballs right here, like I could see the shape of my eyes. It has like an oval shape, and around the whole oval shape of my eyes, outside of myself, meaning I'm not looking in the mirror, I'm not looking in glass, I'm just walking, but I could see with my eyes little squares of different colors. Now when I say squares, they kind of like whatever shape it took to make a perfect outline of the eyeball, right down here. It's not even short form of the eyeball, it's the shape of the eye. It's the shape of the eye. So I'd see almost like a pastelish, opalescent type of color, where it wasn't strong pigment, but it was enough for me to see the distinct color running down the sides and then up around the top. So it's almost like you take the shape of an eye and you put it right on top, and then it's in color and it sounds like flame, right? And this lasts for a long time. I was just like, what the fuck? There's always the words that come out of my mouth. It's never changed. So I don't do it on purpose. to be redundant. I mean, like those are my real literal words, right? And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm walking down the street and I'm looking and I'm moving my eyeballs around like to see if it goes away. And I rub my eyes and it's not going away. And I can still hear the furnace. And then the furnace sound stops. And then I can still see the color. And I'm looking over here and I'm looking over there. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm talking to myself out loud. And then I was like, oh shit, somebody's going to think I'm fucking crazy. But what the fuck is happening to me, right? And I'm walking and I keep walking. Because I'm going to go to the hardware store and see Don Tano right there. And could still get to Don Tano, meaning I'm still walking. This is not going away. It's still there. And I'm waiting for it to go. And I'm looking around. And I'm just like, what is this, right? And I'm like trying to catch it with my head or something. It was crazy. I should have looked in the mirror or something, right? Or in a car reflection. But I was just tripping out. And so I'm walking. I finally get to Don Tano's. And I'm talking to Tano, right? And I'm asking for something, and I'm like, can he see me? I'm thinking in my head, can he see me? Can he see what I see? And I'm like, man, I can still see this guy right through this. And the vision changes. The vision's not the same. It's like you're looking through like a lens, or you're looking through something that changes the vision out here. I don't know how to explain it. It's like crystal clear, but like looking through the bottom of a Coke bottle or something like that. Right? So it's not blurry, it's still clear, but there's a different dimension in the sight. And I'm just like looking, and I'm looking at him, and I'm doing little different things with my head, not to look crazy, but trying to see what's happening to me, right? Do I shake this off? Like, what is this? And then, poof, it ended. It just went away. Right there at Thanos hardware store. Right when I was talking. That lasted about, I figure it took me about, I don't know, give or take, anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, meaning, no, it's longer, because it happened at my house. So I would say up to 10 minutes, right? So that's a long duration to see that. And now I've heard of rainbow body, and that's all I've heard. And I've never looked any more into it. Not even to this day. Not even today before this video. I do know that we are antennas. I do know that we are loaded with quartz crystal capabilities because it runs through our blood, right? And so quartz crystals is what all technology runs off of. And if it wasn't for the quartz crystal, there'd be no technology. So we are in the natural form of highly evolved beings. This is what we are. We're very conductive, very connective, telepathy, all these things are natural to our nature, yet it's been made to look like it's something evil, wicked, or demonic. It's something wicked, evil, and demonic has taken it over and made to look like it's evil because they're fucking using it against us, telling us we don't work like that. That don't exist. You can't do that. You only have 5 physical senses. Nothing else exists. Because Canaanites have led the direction to put this together, to put science together, to put education together, to put all industries together. To everything that we know is Canaanite led and infiltrated. Meaning satanically led and infiltrated. So that we get a diversion. We get the truth with diversion. So that we can't see the whole truth and nothing but the truth because it keeps them out of our space, our field of reality, our safety. Keeps them away from us being able to do that. We can't do that. We can't create a safe place, a safe space. We can't do what is right because we're constantly forced to do, perpetuated to do what is wrong. Because they lead the way, these Satanists, these Canaanites. It's in the behavior. And we got to get them out of political rule because they behave like gang members trying to fight for position and rule over mankind. That's what we got going on. When I say gang members, know that I'm using it as a behavior. I'm not talking about gangs. I'm talking about the behavior of gangs, copies and follows That behavior. That behavior is and how we have been made to be ruled when we don't live by those ways, those Canaanite ways. Canaanites marry their children, called incest. Canaanites marry their mothers, that's incest. Yet this Bible is loaded with incest because we're following Canaanites' ways because Abraham was a Canaanite. And we'll talk about that in other videos. But the reason why this is important is so that we get out of, I told you what I told you about me, so it gives me some credibility of experience. Like, how the fuck you know what you know, Michelle? Well, I got some crazy fucking experiences that I haven't shared that lets me know and makes my words come out like bullets. And when we have the power of truth in our mouth, in our actions, in our mind, and in our heart, it comes out like a sword, and it breaks evil right the fuck down the middle. It breaks it down right where it stands. There is no fighting necessary. I'm gonna fucking break you and expose you. And I'm gonna break you by exposing you right where you stand. And this is why I go by King Joshua's way. I call him Joshua by his name, so that his enemies are exposed because they can't claim him. I am not saying that this is bad. I am saying that we've been misled and there's more to King Joshua than the red letters, meaning the only small amount of fragments that we have about King Joshua speaking is partial in here. There is more to him. Christians can't accept that. I get it. As long as we're all going in the same direction, that is good enough. It really is. But we got to, as Christians, and as what I am saying is, we need to change the language in his name because we're being misled. People are following Yahweh, they're following Jehovah, they're following any other name but the name of King Joshua. Who are we following? King Joshua never called his father any other name but father. For a reason. For a reason. Canaanites followed Yahweh way before King Joshua came. And the reason why we don't pay no mind to this is because of the mislead. So everyone out there calling him Jehovah, calling God Jehovah, or calling God Yahweh, or any other name except God, that is his name, because there is only one. And God is like a general, to put it in brief, to make it more understandable, is a physical being helping mankind in enemy territory. We are in enemy territory because it is loaded and led by creature Canaanites. Canaanites are creature kind in mankind's body. They give themselves over willingly to be possessed by these creature kinds. Everybody else is afflicted by these creature kinds. They can work through the minds of man if their heart is not in the right place. Because when my heart's in the right place and I hear a thought that don't line up with my heart because I've learned to forgive, why am I going to go hate this motherfucker and hurt my neighbor? Are you feeling me? So this is so simple yet very difficult and complex, but this is why it was so important, and it was King Joshua's way to make sure that we follow, so we can't get played in the mind. Because you can't play my heart if my mind and my heart are lined up. We're synchronized, we're organized, we're whole, balanced, and complete. That's the spirit of love and compassion. It's whole, balanced, and complete. That is the Holy Spirit. And that's what we're supposed to be living by. And this machine is feminine on purpose. It's to create women to hate men so much that we're so out of balance that women mistreat the men that they raise. And if we mistreat the men we raise, who's going to physically take care of us? And that's not a weak thing for a strong woman like myself to say. It's men were built physically on the outside, more powerful, with purpose. on purpose. And that purpose is to take care of the physicality that's trying to break us, mankind, down. I need a man in front for a reason, because his biology, his physicality can handle more load than my biology. Women were made to be strong in the mind, to be able to go so deep in the mind that it will break this fucking machine. That's the power of woman. Deep in the thought, in the mentality. It's unfucking breakable. Between man and woman, if we are out of balance, this machine has us, has our generations after us. And that's what I'm here to make sure it doesn't fucking happen. So we got to get into balance with ourselves. We got to get into balance with male and female. We got to get rid of our fucking hates, because I've been mistreated by men my whole life. I got a fucking list, but I'm not mad about it. Do you feel me? I'm not mad about it. I've been mistreated by men my whole life, but I give birth to men. I raise men. And those are my sons. And there's no way I'm going to pour and spew my hate onto them. I watched my mother do that to my brother. And my brother's a broken man. He won't tell you he's a broken man, but he has a spirit in him. Unbreakable fucking gang member spirit. That's what he was, ex-gang member, right? But that's all my mother did to my brother. And does my mother regret that? Yes, but it's too late. Yeah, it's too late. So now my brother got to build back up. Got to build back up, because it ain't ever fucking over. It ain't ever over. It ain't never too late. I'm 51 years old, and I'm telling you, it's never too fucking late. Never too late to rebuild, regain, renew, redo, forgive ourselves, forgive others, and start again. A new chapter. And then a new chapter. And then shit breaks down. And then a new chapter. Oh my God, my story of my life is made up of that. Starting over again and again. Everything being taken and stripped from you. And you're going to start over again. And you're going to do it. And you're going to do it. And you're going to get nothing, no compensation for it. But you're going to get it fucking done. That's the story of my life. And that is the road that I live by, because I know these fucking creatures are real. And I refuse to let them fucking break me down. Wow. It's 8 o'clock exactly. 1 hour. All right, let me see what we got. I got a T right here. It says, think about it. Think about it. Think about it instead of think about it. What do we got? So, think about it saying that you can't hear me. That's, I do got to get a microphone. Actually, I got a microphone. I just got it for this big computer that I don't have a PC for yet. All right, I want to work on that. Getting a mic for this, my phone. Right, getting a mic for my phone. Hasmin, look up, what is that? Lyania and Dutch. Gosh, I wish words were just fucking regular. I'll look that up, but I can't even fucking pronounce it. All right, think about it. Hope after live, the audio will be higher. Oh, I'm sorry about that. All right, I'm going to work on the audio for next week, okay? I got a little microphone, and I just got not too long ago, but I haven't worked it on here. I haven't checked to see if it works. I will get on that. All right, you guys. I really hope what I shared with you guys is an understanding that we got help from the outside. We got help from outside of this machine. We get thrown clues from God and his team in this machine, because that's how the relay works, right? And God's team in this machine is Michael. Michael is an angel, an archangel, because there's different type of angels. And an archangel and his team of angels are like apps on a phone. An app on a phone helps your life do something, manage something, right? Get something done. And I explain it this way so we have a better understanding of what's going on. And so the archangels are to be able to help us when we call. So when we call and make a statement, it's getting help from Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael communicates and can be communicated to. Now, like I said in my other video, I don't allow anything to come into my space and talk freely. That's like opening yourself up to the yellow pages or letting anybody make a phone call coming in. We live in a very highly complex environment, meaning multiple layers of reality, multiple different beings, and ain't nothing just gonna fucking come in here and start chit-chatting with me. The only time I communicate is when I contact or communicate with Michael, and I never get a straight answer. I get a lead, and then I gotta go find it, and I gotta discover, and I gotta triangulate, because there's a protocol. There's a protocol for a reason, so that we know the difference between the opposition and God and his team. And it works just like that. Nothing comes easy. If you already know something, you already know it internally, right? And so you'll be I don't know how to express what I know, right? And how I know it. I don't. I haven't wanted to explain that part yet. It's something that I know has to happen, and eventually I will on here. But if anything's talking to you and coming into your space, that's a problem. That's a problem. And if you feel comfortable because you feel special, that's a problem. And that's why it works off of our emotions that are broken, our insecurities, our hates, because it plays on those aspects, because you can see through the thoughts in our mind from our past and our present. Remember, we're in a machine reality. It's electromagnetic, and it can be rewound, fast forwarded, just like an audio tape. And it's important we start paying attention to those details, because if we don't know what we're dealing with in front of us or around us, and it can be easily misled. If I don't trust a motherfucker in physicality here in this reality, why am I going to start trusting and opening up? Because that's what they want us to do, open up so these motherfuckers can filter in. That's the last thing you ever want to do. You don't need to open up to what is already natural to our nature. There is no need to open up. We're already connected. All these things eventually will start coming out, and I'll elaborate more on them, because it's like a basketball size of information in a straw size amount of time. So it's like trying to get a basketball into a straw of time. There's not enough time to elaborate on all these different things. So Hasmin, you said you did a soul retrieval and Michael was there. Always know that you can do this, okay? That when you have anything come in or anyone come in, or in this case Michael, you can always say, in God's name, I ask you to show yourself. Show me your true form. Michael is gold lights of flame and fire without heat. It's an intelligence in gold flame. It's the best way I can explain it. With full personality, full feeling, not robotic in any way. Full expression and communicative. And can take any form. And his form is blonde hair. His form is Caucasian. Not because I chose to see this. This is what I saw when I didn't know what I was looking at a few years back, 3 or 4 years back, right? With my first encounter and experience with this. And if anything ever communicates with the individual and is telling them the future and telling them what to do, that is an automatic red flag, because you cannot, and this is God and his team, work like a military team. There's protocols, standards of operation, and you don't fucking cross the line. Period. And it's always the same. That's what you count on, right? Protocols. And the protocol is you cannot impose on anybody's free will to do an action. That's why I never get told. Nothing. Fuck. It's like I even get mad about it. It's like, fuck. Can I just know? No. You gotta figure this out, right? So a lot of people say that they get information and they're waiting for information and they get told access and they know about people that they're talking to and they know about their past. We're not supposed to know those things because it's interfering, is my point. There's interference. And so when anything ever comes into our space, we can completely and freely say, with confidence, say, in God's name, I command you to show yourself. In God's name, I command you to show yourself. Show your true form. And they have to. And that's when people get scared the fuck out their mind. Fucking scared out their fucking mind. These creatures are fucking scary looking. There's all kinds of different ones. They look different on all kinds of fucking levels. But when you see this shit, it just changes you forever. Michael said he can't show me. I said, Michael, I want to see your true form. I want to see you in physicality. I want to know you like I'm talking to you guys right here, right now. I want one of these kind of experiences right here, right now. You know, not just in my thought form, but I want something solid. And she said it's not the time, and it's something that has to be waited on, but in due time. And you know, there can't be too much at once. There can be, and so I've just learned to accept that. I've learned to accept that. But that's ooh. I got all these pretty roses right here, right? And I took a deep breath and I just blew them all. All right. Well, yeah, Michael is the go-to. Michael is the one that anything wants to come in and communicate. Like anytime. I never asked to speak to John. Put it that way, right? I never asked to speak to John. But through Michael, John comes. So anything wants to talk to me, it got to go through Michael before it gets to me. If that makes sense, right? So I don't just communicate here and communicate there. People don't just talk to God. It's like trying to call the president. You know he's there. Everybody knows where he's at. But you can't just make a phone call and get an answer. Michael is the middleman from God to the people. Michael is from Michael to the other angels for other helps and solutions for other problems that we have. You know, when I said they're like apps, they're an application to help mankind. This one, let me give an example. Raphael for healing, Michael for communication and direction. All of them move out these creature demons because they're warriors. So when I say the warriors, is a warrior mentality, a warrior spirit. That's not hard to understand, right? We live in a reality that we've been told is make-believe. And now that we're going to start to see it, we can be easily diverted into the wrong direction, and we have to be very careful. That's all I'm saying, right? We protect the body, we protect the soul. On my next video, I'm going to show you how you can get deliverance right where you stand and where you're at. If you feel you're somebody who doesn't have a problem with that, then you don't need the next video, right? But there are a lot of people who want to get these fucking thoughts out of their mind, right? Out of these feelings, out of their emotions that they know are not theirs, and they need deliverance. They need it. And so I'm going to show you what I did, how it came about to it, how it happened to me, what I saw to make me recognize is real, right? Because I'm the kind of person where I have to know what I'm saying is real, because I had to have had a personal experience to know this shit is fucking for real. That just happened to me on Monday. Today's Wednesday, and it just happened to me on Monday. And I'm going to share that with you guys next Wednesday. My shifts is changing at work. I don't know if it's next week. I'm hoping to be here next Wednesday. If not, it'll be next Thursday. I'll be sure to post and let you guys know when my next time will be, my next live. I need you guys to please go to my other YouTube channel and just subscribe. Please. I only got 4 subscribers. I need 50 subscribers, 50 subscribers to Biotech in the Food. I'll put a link, Biotech in the Food at Michelle Angelique on YouTube. so that I can start talking about this technology for advanced people who are trying to get this technology out of their body and better their lives, just better their lives without having to explain everything from ground zero. So, Biotech in the Food, Michelle Angelique on YouTube. Please subscribe, please. Okay, I can't go live on there until I have 50 subscribers. Right now, I only got 4. You guys, I want to say God bless and good night. Be well, and thank you guys for sharing your time here with me. Okay. Just know that we're moving into some very intense, mind-blowing times. Be ready, be balanced, and always know that you're good when you're in the arms and the wings of the angels. You know, the arms of God, the wings of the angels. And I'm recognizing that this holding, this caring for us is the Holy Spirit, because it is those arms. It is that care. It is that love. I know what I wanted to say. That was very important before I left. There is a difference between God, the general, because I was talking to you guys about God is like a general, and his army are the angels. And they're like applications to apply help for mankind. The universe, we can't be thankful to the universe like they got us believe in, because that is against standard protocol, and it don't make no fucking sense as well. How can we be thankful for a location? The universe is a location. It's not an individual. You feeling me? King Joshua, God in the flesh, Son of Man, so that we have a man to look at. Because if we don't look, and he don't look like us, we're not looking at a man and he looks different, we ain't gonna follow his lead. So that's why he's a Son of Man, so that we know he was made to man, for man, to help man. Because God, his face, don't look human. You feeling what I'm saying? And so he needed to send the Son of Man, for man, to help guide man. Because he can't handle the bigger fucking truth that he can't handle right now. The universe is a location in space and time. So how are we going to be thankful and grateful for the universe and ask the universe for help? Universe is it's like asking the fucking football field for some help. We got to stop that shit, because that is anti King Joshua's way. We want to be grateful and thankful to the Holy Spirit, whole, balanced, and complete spirit of love and compassion, because it's not tangible. It's not physical. It's an essence of presence in all things, yet nowhere at the same time. It's everything, yet nothing. Nothing exists outside of it or without it. The less Holy Spirit we have, the less whole, balance, completeness that we have, the more degraded, downgraded to evil we become. That's what I'm saying. So there's a difference between God, the Holy Spirit, God that uses the Holy Spirit, promotes the Holy Spirit, says do not defile the Holy Spirit, because you become these fucking machine creature kind. Machine creature animal kind. And do not, and we should not, be thanking the universe, because it is not the way. I don't know no way else to explain what I just explained, except for that. I called out one of the astrologers that I post up here. Her name is Aubrey Stars. She says, let's thank the universe. I was like, what? So I had to type that shit out for her. Like, you can't be thanking the universe. You thank God. You can't be talking about God but not be thanking God. You can't be contradicting your own shit. So I put it there as nicely as possible, showing the differences. And I thought I should share them also with you guys. So our hearts are in the right direction, but we're not synced up. We got to sync up. Our mind, our words, and our heart got to line up. And that changes how we project words out into the field. And then the field starts to change. That's what I'm saying. And this is the way King Joshua came to show us, so that our words come out like a sword. It's a sword of truth through the word that we're supposed to learn. And we do it by changing how we feel, and that will change our behavior, and then that will change our world. This is Michelle Angelique, Truth and Integrity Warrior. Till next week, you guys, good night and God bless.